You've just been listening to Eric Satie's Gynopédie number 2, the score of which you can find in Pianist magazine, issue 68. Serenity and calmness, two words that could easily describe this piece. It's the second of 3 entitled Gynopédies. Published in Paris in the late 1880s, this softly defined collection of piano pieces gently dispensed with the norms of the musical language and the expectations of the day. Sadly, the second and third pieces of this collection are often overshadowed by the popularity of the first Gynopédie. If you're not sure if you've heard this before, it sounded like this. But when performing the second Gynopédie, I have such a strong personal visualization of a totally still pond on a hazy summer's day out in the French countryside. It's an impression that I feel helps me achieve the colour and mood of this piece. Impressionistic being the key word here. Debussy, friend of colleague of Satie, was already making his presence felt with his impressionism in music, in pieces such as Clair de Lune. When talking about colour in a piano performance, this can be so hard to explain and even harder to achieve sometimes. In this case, pianistic colour is achieved in a number of ways. The mood and the tempo of the piece needs to be evocative. The finger touch should also reflect this mood, and hopefully the resultant sound is in keeping. All of these aspects go together, combined with a spot-on phrasing and very careful use of the sustain pedal. Now, if we scan across the 3 pages, we can see fairly extreme dynamics. The introductory 4 bars being sublimely quiet, marked as pianissimo, then the dynamics pick up just a little for the theme with the piano marking. Now, within the range of each phrase, a very small crescendo and decrescendo should be played. This is not easy to do at this speed with so few notes. And suddenly, at bar 15, a forte marking and a crescendo after that. So be sure to think really carefully about what this means in musical terms and make the most of it. Of course, the opening 4 bars can be split between the right and the left hand, but don't get too comfortable with this arrangement. Your left hand will soon be required to cover all things harmonic. These left hand chords and bass notes should be perfectly placed and voiced. You want to achieve this kind of perfect, unintrusive block of harmony. Try not to spread the chord or make the note stick out unnecessarily. For example, from bar 5. Quick preparation by placing your left hand as far in advance as you dare is vital here to achieve a comfortable performance. Practice placing your hand in position before playing as quickly and as effortlessly as possible. For example, from bar 5. You're looking to move your hand from the bass note to the chord as flawlessly as possible. Have your fingers rested on the keys in plenty of time before playing. In fact, you could try creating a little exercise. For example, This will help with the hand position and allow you to concentrate on the voicing of the chords. That's to say, being able to play the chord with each note sounding at the required level. When playing the melody, full concentration needs to be given to the theme. Listen to the decay of each note and play with the pedal. You want each note to smoothly build the theme. Avoid stuck-out notes. From bar 5. To achieve a comfortable touch, I like to put weight onto each note. Have each finger in full contact with the key before playing the note. Feel your finger playing to the bottom, the bed of the key. And crescendo should build as smoothly as possible. This really is one of those pieces where you're looking to achieve a perfect working relationship between the right hand and the left hand. The left providing this warm bed of harmony, whilst the right hand sings out this bell-like melody. As we've already mentioned, the pedaling is vitally important here. In fact, you may also consider using the soft pedal too for this piece, or the una corda as it's sometimes called. And without, this instantly provides a more softly muted sound. There are some that believe it's cheating a little, but assuming the sound created is what's desired, then I say why not? Be warned though, soft pedals on many pianos vary considerably in the effect they achieve. Some are just too soft and muted. As far as the sustain pedal is concerned, it really does need to be used with absolute precision. Just the opening 4 bars require extremely carefully pedaling for each bar. But we really want to avoid any perceivable gaps or overlaps in the sound. So the pedaling needs to be done quickly and effectively. For example, from the very beginning. You want to catch the bass note before moving your hand up to the chord. It takes some practicing, but it's a technique you'll often use in other repertoire. We mentioned tempo earlier on. This piece needs to be so controlled. There's always a danger for students to speed up in sections that they are confident with. Perhaps try using a metronome a little to check you're not rushing. I'd suggest anywhere between 55 to 60 beats per minute. But you can still be musical. Don't be shy to lean into certain notes. For example, the beginning of bar 15, the forte section, for example, you should have a very slight breath into this bar. As I mentioned, the metronome is just a guide and not intended to be used too much in a piece like this. Because this is such an evocative sounding piece and a very sustained piece, I thought it might be fun to use the digital piano to find some other sounds. In this case, I have a sound of a piano layered with a bell sound and also a pad sound, which gives me this sustained sound. Of course, this is just a bit of fun, but have a listen, see what you think. Once you've mastered this piece, why not have a look at the other two, especially the first Gynopédie, which was featured in Pianist magazine issue 59. It's very evocative French music, I'm sure even better appreciated over a nice glass of Bordeaux. So enjoy.